Okay, so let's start with a mono red deck.
I didn't catch it.
Let's see. Ooh, that time we got there. We got enough lands now. It's going to be an interesting hand. This is a tricky one because I can cast a 2-drop, but I don't have something. I don't have an untapped mana for turn 3 to cast this. So, sadly, I think the right play is to play the tap land and just use this creature. And don't sacrifice it for 1 mana, no matter how bad the game keeps asking you to do so. If I can sacrifice a goblin, that means I don't have to sacrifice him for it, which is why I keep trying to wait until I get enough mana to sacrifice other goblins. I now have 2 different members of the attendance sheet already in my hand. I have the Witty Roastmaster, and I have the Molten Gatekeeper. Molten Gatekeeper has the downside of being an artifact creature, but the upside of having Unearth, that we can come back for one last hurrah. But the Witty Roastmaster makes up for that lack of Unearth with a flavor text. If you're lucky, you'll walk out with just your ego singed. Kind of hoping for a land, to be honest, but we didn't get one. So now, we get to get a little creative. Get some more red out of this exchange. You see now, as opposed to only casting Krenko and not being able to cast Krenko's command until next turn, we're able to cast them both. There comes the kill spell, and that's fine with me, because that means they had to use it. Effect to force me to discard a card. That's a problem. And hey, I got a land. It's a very useful one. Time to recast him. It says I have enough. I do. They now have their commander. Ooh, all their rats have fear. This is about to hurt a lot. Can't block anything if it has fear. But, excuse me, most importantly for me, I now get to do some shenanigans. What's scary is they have 5, 10, 12, they have 14 damage, unblockable, staring at me right now before they even play anything. So I might have to try to take them out right now.
Good luck.
Thanks, I'm gonna need it. So first things first, I'm gonna get this gatekeeper on the field. And then it's gonna be the Fire Legion. Get that other goblin out. I can get something else out, but it won't result in another goblin necessarily getting on the field. I don't think I'm going to do enough damage to knock that. At the very least, I did just hit them relatively hard, so that's something. least got to knock them down to 17, a similar damage to what I'm at, but don't think I'm going to get to do any more than that. Actually, wait. This is going to help. No, let's sacrifice this. That way I can kill this one. Actually, what I should have done is kill the rat colony, because they're 5 ones. Now they're 4 ones. That's actually what I should have killed, but I didn't. So, anyway. Give all my creatures haste. That way at least I can smack them this turn with them. Since if I can't block, we're going out swinging. Makes sense. Double block just to take less, even though that's going to result in more damage just to kill my member of the attendant sheet. But given that its unearth cost is only 1 red, I figure, I can get that back pretty easily. They had an ant. Very well done on their part. Ooh, we got them up to 6. And that is enough. Oh. What are they up to? Oh! They even greatly increased the number of rats. And in this game of rats, they come out on top. Take a little break real quick. Be back in a couple of minutes. And we are back. Now to give the goblins another go. So I've 13 more red or white spells. That was almost instantaneous. Ooh, we got Satoru Umezawa. Only run up against him a handful of times, not terribly often. I very much like my hand, even if 2 of my lands are going to come in tapped and all of my creatures are the same mana spot. That's fine with me. Biggest reason I'm pleased, I have Goblin Matron as a search. I have my War Chief already in the hand for a cost reduction and a haste enabler. And 3 mana plus Mr. War Chief here means I can cast Franco on time on turn 4. I, of course, am hoping to draw into a land or a rock that I can play between now and him. That way I'm not only relying on the War Chief here. Yay! Hello, friend. Hello. Don't have a legendary, so we're gonna get this tapped land on the board. They have a 1/1 flyer. Lovely.
I can't wait till I get a
Ooh, we have an Overlord. Fun, fun, fun. They use the impending. What did they add back? Oh, great. I've seen this thing once or twice. This is not a good thing for me to see on that side of the field. But it is what it is. So I've got a land I can play. I guess since now I've got another 3rd land. Decisions. No. So if I want to have stuff come in on time, I gotta Evolving Wilds here. I don't want to, but I gotta. Gotta hit auto pass to prevent the game from continuously asking me to play my 1 mana artifact. Because as much as I like this spell, and as useful as it is only until the end of the turn. It is not like a lot of these spells until the end of your next turn. It is only until the end of the turn. Which does hold it back a little bit, but that's okay. This time I get War Chief on the field. Which immediately gives me my beautiful cost reduction. Oh, jeez. Oh, boy. Sheesh. I'm talking about a problematic thing on your opponent's side of the board. This certainly qualifies. That was nice. I got to draw a land for the turn. This means I get to have 3 goblins total when Franco comes in, not just 2. Now I begin to flood the board. Now, just on principle, we swing 2 1/1s in. Just to send a message. Thank you for that. Appreciate that compliment.
Get his ass.
I'm trying to. One other nice thing for me is that this has a trigger whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell. Unfortunately for him, he is playing against goblins. Most of my cards are going to be creature spells. I have 5 cards in my hand and 3 of them are creatures. Ooh. This is the downside of swinging all of the creatures I swung. I do have to let one of these go through unblocked. Give him a chance to ninjutsu something. Although I think it's 3 for that ninjutsu off of his effect, and he only has 2, so I at least have that. Ah, and here is a non-creature spell, so there is that. Let's see, decisions. Excuse Excuse me. No, I know what the right play is. First of all, the right play is to only give them one card here, not two. I'm going to play the back side of this as a land. Ow, did not realize my life was that low. It's okay. I'm going to cast yet another creature spell. Let's see, what is the sequencing? Yeah, doesn't really matter sequencing. We're going to pay it on this one. We're going to pay the 1 for Ristic Study. We're going to get the Goblin Matron. A mother only a child could love. Admittedly, I didn't realize it was even supposed to be a she like that until I saw one of the older arts. Then I knew. The choice, though, of which card to search for, that's obvious. A new card that is more or less an Impact Tremors type of effect attached onto a creature, which is an amazing effect, and a very good effect for me to have in a Goblin deck. So, with that being said, I'm going to make them take 6 damage directly to the face. Now, I get to go to combat and deal even more damage. We're going to leave 4 creatures back. 3. We're going to leave 3 1/1s back to block, and the rest are going at his face. And, because one or more goblins attacked, she makes yet another goblin, tapped and attacking. Oh hey look, we got another goblin entered. Take another damage. To cross swords with her is a shockingly bad idea. I have lowered her to 5, and I have left myself 3 blockers, 1 for each of his creatures, and 1 for another creature should he play one. Thank you, thank you. And I will add, yep, they said good game, they knew. They knew that if they passed to me, what would happen is I would untap, play nothing, tap Krenko, make over 10 goblins, and they would all ping her. She would trigger, they would die with probably 5 to 6 pings left on the stack. Not curious. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I would have made 13 goblins without casting the goblin that was still in my hand, which is awesome. And now the goblins have gotten their win for tonight. So now, let's see, we got another 5 spells for this, but now we need red or white spells, so time to change gears into mono white tokens. My tokens deck on Arena that is built around the creature token tripler. Be right back. This hand is a snap keep. Very easy choice to just keep this instantaneously. We got 3 lands, and we got 2 ramp sources. Shoot, I just noticed I even got a 2-drop, and I drew a second 2-drop. Which is awesome for me. Love pacifism. I'm reminding myself how much this card has been power crept out nowadays. And I'm probably going to have to take it out of this deck, because it's a removal spell in here, and well, there are better options for me. Because I was tempted to pacify their commander, but that doesn't do me much good, given that we're talking about a tap ability here. Let's see, we're dealing with ingenuity counters. No, you can tap it. Pacifism says cannot attack or block. But a lot of these new ones say cannot attack or block, and it does some other stuff. So, things and stuff. So we need to ramp, so, well, the envelope, that'll go to 4 with this, and 5, no, that doesn't get me there. So, if I cast the envelope this turn, even if I go to next turn and I use my planes, I then don't have enough mana to cast my commander. So, we went for the Saga first, because it's going to search for basic claims. It was going to, before Sonswong showed up and said, nah, you can get out of here. I do not own a copy of Swan Song myself, so I am not familiar with the flavor text. The most enlightened mages create beauty from violence. As someone who loves flavor texts, that card most certainly qualifies. Now, what the heck did they get out? Oh, goodness gracious. I was hearing about some shenanigans with this card. Whew. It's a very useful and very good card. Oh boy, they paid 8 life when they brought it out. Good to know. Eek is all I can say to that. Luckily for me, I did draw a land last turn, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. That means next turn I get to play my land for the turn and cast my commander. The bad news is they can make an 8/8 every turn. Oh, this motherfucker is one of those assholes. This is your obligatory... Excuse me, let me try that again. This right here, this is your obligatory reminder that the ban list exists for a reason. And the ban list on Brawl is different from the ban list in paper. In Brawl, this card is not legal for good fucking reason. This thing is beyond broken, and this thing literally has a sign that says, "Hi, I have no self-control." In paper, this card is banned, and it is not allowed. I hope I don't get to see why, but I will at least, play one turn. Let's see what they do. Nah, who am I kidding? They just showed me why they countered my commander before I even got to do anything with it. Hey, vey. That untaps this. Thankfully for me, they don't have the mana to tap it again. Yeah, I'm curious what they plan on doing with it. The only other time I've gone up against it, my opponent very, very quickly showed me exactly why this card was banned. Because they had out mana rocks. I'm sorry. What? They got to cheat out a worm coil? Okay. I did not realize that this Joyra bypasses a timing restriction.
Is it timing
Well, it puts an artifact card onto the battlefield, so it wasn't cast. But that also means an artifact was just played on my end step. So that threw me off a little. As you can imagine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm the one that always says if I'm going down, I'm going down swinging. So, let's keep taking game actions. This pacifism doesn't do a lot, but against a worm coil it's actually fairly useful. Because that thing is perfect for attacking and blocking. So, let's pacify that sucker. That midnight clock for them is a massive problem for me, because pretty soon they're going to get a whole fresh new hand. And this is the synergy, is now that they've tapped it and created the token, they're only... No, because they're going to untap the midnight clock when this triggers on their next spell. They'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. They can immediately pay this and tap this again, even though it's my turn. And they're making an 8/8 every single time they do this. This is so painful to just say that much damage, so... But I mean, even if I go to next turn, it's going to be the same thing, so... Damage as much as I don't want to, as much as it hurts. Flare Fortitude in my hand is probably the only reason I haven't left yet, to be honest. I haven't already just said, no, this is your game, you can have it.
Oh, goodness.
Let's see, a kill spell does me no good right now. I actually wanted to land.
Really?
Yeah, kill spell doesn't help me because I can just remake one of these tokens like that.
You can't just kill him with the kill spell?
It's an artifact that's making the tokens, that's the problem.
Oh, so it's a kill creature spell, it's not a kill target permanent?
It actually also kills an enchantment or a creature, but I need to kill an artifact specifically. So, we're going to get this creature on the field, because I'm going to do some shenanigans with it. I'm going to bounce back a permanent. That permanent is going to be my land, a land that I use to cast it. Then I'm going to use that land as a land for turn. So, you know, a little bit of shenanigans there, but...
Do you have landfall effect?
Nah. It's just the shenanigans of getting an extra land out.
Is it an extra land if you...
No. That's the issue. Doing what I can here. At this point, I'm kind of just hoping I top deck a board wipe, but we'll see if I get one. Because I got something to give me one more turn. Provided they don't have a counter spell. I'm now realizing I should have cast it on their upkeep before they drew a card for the turn, but I digress. No, they have an Aurora. They played a land. It tells me they probably drew a land for the turn. Oh, they have a Lodestone Golem. That's a problem. Well, before you do that, we're just gonna go ahead and Flare of Fortitude to give me one more turn. I try to find a way out of this mess. And because I've activated the Flare after the Lodestone Golem, I would technically have to pay 1 mana to do that. And I don't have 1 mana right now. That's ugly. They get to do Midnight Clock now. And I do mean now. So, that's gross. Because now they get to shuffle the graveyard back and then draw 7 cards. I don't care if the thing is exiled. The fact that you get that at all is disgusting. Yeah. I like the pet. It's very cool. Damn it. I got up to 6. Gotten up to 8. Wait, why is it... Oh, it's a non-artifact spell, so my commander costs 1 extra mana. So now I can't cast my commander. Okay. Well. Then I know what I must do, and that is on principle. Wait. It's a 5/3? Oh, damn it. Okay, well then kill one of your tokens, because I can cast it. Because of this thing, I cannot cast my commander. Ouch.
Someone commented. I can't even read that.
What the f... Yeah. Oh, the One Ring and the Paradox Engine. That's not horrifying at all. They were willing to pay 4 life just to draw a card. That's a lot. A little surprised, but also not that surprised. No, go ahead and swing the golem. Come on, buddy, swing the golem.
Considering your...
It's not like I'm gonna kill it.
Yes, but they probably know that.
I know they know that. I can still hope.
They're probably drawing and defining an answer.
Speaking of looking for an answer, let's dig! Nope, didn't get an answer, and that's not an answer either.
Damn.
Spells I could play, things I could do, but... Well, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 swings. I would have 5 creatures. No, I'd have 4 blockers. Which means something's getting through. Even if that gets through, that's enough. So, I think that might do it. Well, let's see. May or may not have enough to stave off for one more turn. No, that's going to be a no. I thought I might have enough to cast that spell and make a token, but I'm 1 shy of doing that. I don't. We're going to cast this spell just for the sake of casting a white spell.
Found it.
Oh, nice. I was looking for a sweep. No blocks. Because even if I had enough things to block with, they had the removal for my commander, and he costs a lot of mana to begin with. On the bright side, I did cast enough white spells to complete that little challenge, so there's that. We're gonna give that deck another go, then we'll do another draft. I'm back. Had to mute there for a minute. Having a little snack. First hand had 1 land, so that's a no. This hand has 3 lands, but I don't have any ramps, so we'll see how we manage to get up to 6, if I manage to get up to 6. And they already have something that's terrifying. Grist Voracious Lava, which can turn into Grist the Plague Swarm. This is the new version of it. It can transform whenever it or another creature enters. If it enters from the graveyard, then you pay a green. And that's what makes it transform. So, things and stuff. I can do that. I would normally wait to cast this equipment because it makes a token, and then my commander makes multiple of that token. But tempted to cast it now to get some scries, but no. I think I'm gonna take a different tactic.
Get their pet.
Oh, their companion is sick as fuck.
The way it was walking back was all sassy.
It was walking back very sassy, I saw that. Oh, damn it. I am really curious how this is gonna work. So I'm gonna do something, and I don't think it's gonna work, but we're gonna try. It did nothing. I had a feeling. Game told me, nah, it does not compute. So, good news is I've drawn 2 lands, I'm noticing. Bad news is I don't think I've drawn much else. So, we're gonna fix that.
Got a draw spell?
I do not have a draw spell, but I do have some shenanigans, which I'm taking advantage of. My Warden here has a very nice ability, which I just took advantage of because I had enough artifacts and or creatures. So I tapped 3 things. Put a 1/1 counter on it and scryed 1. I scryed a mana rock, so that can certainly stay on the top. Speaking of ramping on mana. Alright, here comes their commander. We got Lathril here. Yikes. Pass into damage. I technically have a spell to cast, but I don't want to cast it right now. So, let's get that mana rock. Advance my board state. Excuse me. So I can cast this where X is 1 or where X is 3 by getting rid of that card from my hand, but that's really the only card left, so that's just going to wait. So, we're going to do some, once again, we're going to use the same word, shenanigans. We're going to tap the equipment. We're going to tap this artifact. We're going to tap this mana rock that just came in for the 3 things each turn. Ooh. A very useful spell, but one that does have to target. Actually, we're going to leave it on the top because we're going to hope that the menace here encourages them to swing their commander at us, but we'll see how that goes. Oh. Oh, I keep forgetting that Citizen's Crowbar has a second function, besides being an equipment that says equipped creature gets +1/+1. It also says equipped creature has 1 white and tap this creature. Sacrifice the equipment. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. That Swiftfoot Boots has already been problematic once for my spring-loaded Saw Blades not being able to kill it because it is a target-tapped creature. So for that reason, it came into the battlefield and fizzled. Excuse me. They are going to swing again. Let's see. I'm not going to block. We're actually going to use... I'm tempted to block here with the token to kill the Grist, but I have a feeling they have something. Something just tells me they have to have something. They wouldn't swing otherwise. Ooh, we have a Rogue's Passage on their board. Very problematic and also a very good thing to do.
Love that land. It's probably my favorite.
That land is one of my favorites too. Ah, they did have a save spell. They're going to use it now just for 2 extra damage, but this also gains indestructible. So not only did they get 2 extra damage in, but they just used an indestructible spell when there was no threat to their creature. I'm happy about that. Oh, no, this is why. I was wondering why they pumped their commander. I felt it unnecessary. To my point, create that many tokens. Ah, so they just made themselves 2 extra tokens by what I considered burning a spell. They didn't burn anything. The really good news for me is I've made it to 6 mana, and I get to cast my commander. Do you still have enough things to tap comfortably for this? So we're going to tap 3, scry 1, and put a counter on it yet again. Ooh, one of my personal favorites. Phyrexian Vindicator. Not a token card, something that technically doesn't really belong in here, but it's just too useful not to include in a mono white deck. Behold your inevitable defeat. And, also, just as importantly, Warden of the Inner Sky now has 3 1 or more 1/1 counters on it. As long as it has 3 or more 1/1 counters on it, it has flying and vigilance. So not only is this creature growing in power, and therefore becoming even more of a threat the longer it sits on the board, now it can swing and turn around and block, all in the same body. And don't forget to scry for additional value. I haven't scried anything to the bottom yet, but I've still gotten to know that I'm getting good shit. Be right back. Got a snack on something. Gonna take the commander out, even if I gotta lose an extra life or two to do it. Now to flood the board. Because normally, this makes 4 tokens. It made a few more than 4, thanks to my commander. I love that. Even my opponent took the time to say how nice that was. They declared the full send and said GG. Well, they'd already said GG, but still. Cool. Goblins gotta win. Tokens gotta win.